Make some noise!
Noise.
Why have you and Frankie made the exact same noise when I said that?
We're all the same brain cell, that's why
True,
we get along so well.
Yeah, I've had her on twice now, and yeah, the last time she was on, I says, right, make some noise for the chat. She was like, blah, 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 blah. That's what I forgot to say. But yes, hello everybody. Welcome on in. I'm Atrum. Hello. I'm sure most of you already know Kura anyway, right? I'm sure most of you. Just in case though, Kura, do you want to do an intro for yourself?
Hello everybody, I am Kura. I am HyperX's red panda princess. HyperX, like the headset peripherals. You know, I'm actually a headset IRL.
No. You're a microphone with googly eyes.
I'm a microphone now, apparently.
You're a microphone with googly eyes.
I shapeshift between, you know, the products and stuff. Okay. I can hear you. If you own a HyperX product, I can hear you. Don't do bad things.
Just to say, guys, if ever your, microphone boom arm ever breaks just before stream, get this super glue, guys. It's the best. It's held together with... My microphone is held together with super glue and dreams, guys. How do you become the HyperX VTuber? Is it kind of like something you kind of just like fell into and like the opportunity arose, or was it like you spoke to somebody first, or how did that end up panning out?
Actually, I had someone who had literally just asked me last week and then proceeded to ask me if I was a VTuber prior or if I was a flesh tuber or like what did I do before that. I was like, those questions are getting a little bit like, because if I said that I used to be a VTuber, that's like different. I guess if you say like you are a flesh tuber and then you go into VTubing, if someone finds you, then they're like, oh my god, I know what she looks like, you know? Let me see. Backtrack. 2022. I think I was in class. I had basically not really streamed. Well, I streamed like once a month, maybe here and there.
Yeah.
And then basically, I got an email from the HyperX team, and it was an invite-only process. Typically, VTubers they'll like the company will say, hey, auditions are open, right? And then you submit on like their Google form or whatever. But this one, I got an email and I was like, oh. So I basically just went into a meeting and they asked me some questions and then asked for some like video. And I was like, okay. So I basically sent them, keep in mind that year I hadn't like gone on allergy shots yet. And I was dying.
Oh god, no! That's the worst nightmare.
My voice was so scratchy. I thought I had COVID, but no, it was because of allergies. And I recorded the stuff and I sent it in. It took me like 2 hours, and then after that, I basically died. It came back to life like 2 weeks later, and I didn't hear back. And so I was like, oh, well, maybe I should follow up, because, you know, like, if you have, like, a regular job and you, like, did an interview, you typically follow up after, like, a week or two, right? So I was like, okay, let me follow up, and I followed up, and I didn't hear anything. So instead, I was like, oh, I guess maybe they found someone.
Yeah.
Fast forward until September, so, like, 5 months later, I got an email, and they were like, "We'd like you if you're still interested. We'd love if you were the VTuber." And then I was like,
"Oh, nice,
oh.
That's great, yes."
Yeah.
You're like, okay.
So, what kind of things do you typically react to? Is it the other VTubers or like anything?
So it's got to be a clip of a VTuber.
Okay.
I do have a series on YouTube that this goes up from. It's kind of like a mixture of stuff. I basically allow most things as long as it doesn't cross the line on TOS. We'll get funny clips, we'll get wholesome clips, we'll get cute clips, we'll get batshit clips where like you don't know what the hell's going on, but something funny happens. And, it's one of those. Yeah, it's done okay so far. We discover a lot of new VTubers by doing this as well. So this is with the episodes I have up on YouTube at the moment. It's 158. So we've done 19 episodes, and 158 VTubers have featured on those episodes.
Wow.
So yeah, obviously some more than others. Frankie's unsurprisingly a favourite around here, so she has featured quite a lot. Had a lot of repeat people on there, but yeah, we get a lot of new folks as well. I don't sugarcoat it. I want the video to do well for me, but also it's kind of cool to sometimes some of the VTubers that we get to react to are very, small to medium, kind of like that size, that maybe they don't get like that projection of like advertisement or something. So it's kind of cool to find like a smaller VTuber and react to something that they've done that's funny or cool, or there's a few people in here that like the cuter stuff and all that sort of stuff. It's been pretty good.
I've been told to ask about Door-chan.
Of course you have. Of course you've been asked to in my room I have some doors behind me. I've only moved here. I've only been here about 6 or 7 months. So before that, I was streaming in like a little dinky room with like one door, and it was off to the side. Whenever I went like AFK or anything like that, I'd say, "Oh, the door's in charge," kind of thing, because you could just see it on the thing. I literally had a viewer that came in and they were like, "Wow, that's an incredible door handle." I'm like, "Wait, what? What do you mean that's an incredible door handle? What do you mean by that?" But he was like, "Yeah, it's great the way the light reflects off it." And he was literally, every stream he'd come in and be like, "Yeah, door handle, I can see it. I'm happy." I'm like, "What?" And then that's how it started. They're like, No, I'm here for Door-chan. My stream loves doors." And then I moved to this place. So I now have 4 doors. So we got this one, and then through this one, I got like another door over there.
He has a harem of door-chans.
And then I have another one in here as well.
Personal harem, that's crazy.
So I have a door that leads to a door, and also a door that leads to a door.
Oh my god, you're like the Roblox game.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. This is the real back rooms, guys, okay? I've just decorated it, alright? Like, it's fine. This might be the back rooms, but it is what it is, okay, guys?
It kind of looks like it,
yeah.
to be honest.
You're not wrong, you're not wrong. I do normally have, like, coloured lights and stuff, but I thought, no, not for this. Oh, and obviously, when I actually leave the chat, like, fully as well, it's very much a... The doors are there, but also chairs here, so chair gets a lot of love when I'm not here as well. Please help me, Kura. Like, what? How do I win these guys over? I'm less popular than my chair and my doors. You know what? I'd say I think I've seen you play so many different game types that you just seem to fit right into most game types, and you just like, even if you've never played it before, you're like, yeah, forget it. I'll jump head first in. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll go for it.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I like first reaction, kind of like, basically you go into a game blind without knowing what you're doing, because I think that's like where like my content is like the best.
Yeah.
Because I have no idea what's going on.
I mean, do any of us ever know what's going on? Like, it's...
True.
I think probably the things I've seen you play most is probably Baldur's Gate 3. I know you've got like it's essentially a static collab for that, right? So you played a lot of that recently. But then, you know, you've done the supermarket shopping one, a simulator, is it? The supermarket game.
I played a lot of Lethal Company back when it was
Company as well,
very popular. That was fun.
Yeah, so
a lot of screaming.
One of our first interactions was on there, to be fair, on Teru's community night, I think, when Teru was basically like, "You will play Lethal Company now. Get in here." Teru loved it, guys.
Teru thing.
She's like, I'm awake. We're on Lethal Company.
Teru would be like, "Kura, where are you?" And then I would literally say, "Dude, I'm in bed." She's like, "You're not anymore."
Yeah.
And I'd be like,
"I'm having a lie-in. I just want this one lie-in this week." "No, you will play Lethal Company now." Yeah, that was the thing. I think a lot of content creators in general absolutely rinse that game for every drop of content they could get out of it, right? For you, do you prefer like those interactions where it's like collab games and stuff like that? Or is it just sometimes you're like, you know what, actually I just want to dive into this game headfirst on my own? Or do you prefer like the collabs and things like that? Or
if it's a multiplayer game, I prefer to play it multiplayer. And of course single player, single. But like, I think in terms of games, I like to play the ones that, like, I don't know how to explain it, but sometimes I feel like you kind of just know which ones are like pretty good content versus like ones that are like more like sit back and relax type games.
Yeah.
I think Lethal Company and Content Warning, they are really good in terms of content because it's like quick. People kind of react off each other and the things that are in the game. Whereas like, you know, you're not like, if you're doing like a puzzle game, you know, everybody just focus on the puzzle.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're
instead of
staring
the
at you expectantly, right? Yes.
Yeah. In that aspect, like I think there's certain games where like you just know, you're like, oh, this is good content.
Yeah.
And you could take that content and make it into like a video, and people will be like, oh yeah, I want to watch it because it's interesting. Those are like typically the games that I gravitate towards.
I'm trying to think of other games. I think I've seen you on like Minecraft. I've seen you on, as I say, Lethal Company, Content Warning, Labyrinth, the supermarket game. You've been on Baldur's Gate 3. I've seen you doing that climbing game, which is like, you know, everybody loves a good rage game in the rotation, right?
Oh, that game don't remind me.
I thought I might trigger a little bit of a thing there with mentioning that game again.
I always remember the wheels because that's where I stopped. I can't. Oh my god. I'd be surprised if like a lot of people beat that game or not, you know?
I actually don't know. I haven't actually seen anybody beat it, but obviously somebody somewhere will have. But I haven't seen it yet.
Most of the people that I went to streams, they didn't get very far past like the beginning. So I was like, okay, I guess I kind of got sort of far. But when I asked chat how far I was, they were like, you're only like 10% of the way there.
Only 10% of the way
I was
up.
like, are you serious? Immediately uninstalled.
Red says, here's a topic. How about some democracy for Kura in aka Helldiver 2?
Oh, Helldivers.
Yeah,
that's the only game that I haven't bought yet. But a lot of people wanted me to play Helldivers.
Yeah, I've had
funny.
a couple of people mention it to me as well. But I don't think my PC can play it.
I remember you saying what your PC ran on, and I was like, holy cow, I don't know how you can stream and play games and do all that with what you have.
Now it's literally held together with super glue as well. So, look, it's served me well for 10 years. And it's held together with super glue, and it's doing what it needs to do. Okay. No, yeah. So I've still for those unaware. So this PC is like roughly about 10 years old, and when I bought it at the time, it was a monster. It was like the best things you could buy at that time. So it's got a GTX 980, which when you think about, wait a minute, that's. Now we're on like 4070s and 4080s and stuff. Yeah, I was on the 980. It's still going strong. 980. It's still going strong, guys. It's still going strong. It's still good. It still works on 90% of things. There's just some stuff now. I've noticed a couple of things it struggles with, but yeah.
Do you clean your PC?
Yes, once a year.
That would probably explain why my GPU didn't last as long.
Yeah, you should clean it at least once a year. Once a year.
I clean like the bottom, you know, like where the dust is and stuff, but I don't open it up to clean the stuff.
Yeah,
that would explain why things break, huh?
Yeah, because the dust is one, a heat insulator, and two, a conductor. So you're kind of screwing yourself on two fronts there by not cleaning it up, right? But yeah,
this is technically my second PC.
Technically?
Technically.
What's the technicality on this one?
So my first PC was, I got it in 2016, and then the graphics card died in 2020. And then I ended up, after a bunch of stuff happened, borrowing like people's GPUs and stuff. One of my viewers sent me, and I paid back, a GTX 3060 Ti. And so I had the 3060 Ti, and then I was like, oh shoot, like the rest of my PC is like not really super compatible with.
Oh, so it's like yeah.
So then I like pieced up a bunch of other things. So then I ended up getting a new CPU. I got a new RAM, pretty much everything to my knowledge, actually, now that I think about it. So it basically became my second PC unintentionally. The 3060 Ti originally was still in my old PC, but then like my SSD or whatever died, and like among some other things that broke, I think. And after that, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna upgrade my stuff. And yeah, even then, the games that are not optimized, my PC still has like trouble running them, especially when I'm streaming.
I mean, non-optimized games in general, it don't matter what rig you've got. If it's unoptimized, you're just going to struggle with it. Yeah, the 980 obviously, as I say, served me very well. It's a tough little tank of a graphics card there compared to all the new ones, but and it's actually net. So obviously OBS and Streamlabs OBS like update over time, like they add updates and things like that. The 980 is now at the bottom of the list of supported cards, so I think I'm going to be forced to actually upgrade my card at some point, because any day now when OBS releases another update, it's going to be that card's not supported anymore. So I'm going to be like, oh good, yeah, it's great.
Atrum is almost 5 generations old. No wonder he's a boomer.
Hey, I'm not that old. When you said
boomer. I'm a boomer too. Not really, but I think I have a boomer body.
Well, it's funny because you said like, oh, my first PC was in 2016, right? My first PC, I built it myself in like 1999. So I was probably I was how old was I? I was probably about 12, and with the help of my stepdad at the time.
1999 minus 12.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
1987.
So. That was my first PC, and I built it myself out of scrap parts that I just happened to scrabble together. It was awful. It was an awful PC, but it did the job. That was my first one, and that lasted me about 2.5 years before I I was trying to clean it, and I put the connectors on the wrong way when I was cleaning it, and I blew it up basically.
Oh no! This is why Papa Kura was like, "You cannot build your own PC. I don't trust you."
Yeah, this was back in the Wild West days of when PC technology was just like everywhere, but not really fully regulated. But yeah, it was long time ago, long time. So when you said, "Oh yeah, I got my first PC in 2016," I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so old."
Well, okay, I had laptops before that. So when I was a kid, Papa and Mama could have had to travel a lot for work, so they wouldn't get me a PC, like a standalone one. They would give me laptops and stuff. Yeah. And every time I asked for a PC, they'd be like, "There's no point in you getting a PC." And I'd be like, "Why?" And then my dad would say, "Well, you don't need one because if we get it, it's like too much of a hassle to move back and forth. Yeah. If you're gonna like leave it at grandma's house, and then when we come back every month, then you have to bring it back, and that's just too much work, so just use your laptop." Yeah. So I literally played games that would be possible on my laptop. So basically MapleStory.
What runs on this thing? Oh, this does. Okay, cool. That's my forever game now.
I think the only one that was actually like hard on my PC was League.
Oh no, you're a League player?
Yep, I'm a dirty League player.
I can't say anything. I also partook in the League.
I have a story. When I was a kid.
There we go. Settling, guys. We got when I was a kid. Let's
So wait, when did League come out again? Was it 2011?
I was going to say
9 or
10, but yeah.
Somewhere around there. Back then, it was season 1. And my cousin, Kura cousin number 1, I went over for like a family like holiday or something. And cousin Kura was like, "Have you heard of this game? It's called League of Legends." And I was like, "No, what is it?" Because, you know, back then I was still playing MapleStory. And he tried to explain the game to me terribly. I had no idea what he was saying. But what he said was, so basically you go into a game and there's like a map. And the objective of the game is to destroy the enemy's base. So then you start at level 1, and then you get to max level at level 18. And I was like, "Oh, okay. So then 18's like the max level?" And he said, "Yeah. And then when you finish the game, you start over." And I thought that was like the stupidest idea ever, because I was like, "What do you mean you start over? Why would I want to start over after like starting from level 1? Because MMOs, you start at level 1, and then once you get max level, why would you want to start over again, right?" Yeah. I didn't understand, and he was like, just try it, okay? It's fun." And I was like, "Okay, I'll think about it," right? At the time, I guess he offered to like play with me, but you know, I never thought about it. So like a few months later down the road, I was like, he told me about this game. It's called League. Let me look it up. So I looked it up, downloaded the game, and I went into the tutorials. And back then, season 1's tutorial was like, forgive my French, it was ass. Yeah. It was so bad. Oh my god. You only had like what, 3 champions to pick from? It was Ash, and then the other 2. Like Garen,
the pirate with the gun or something like that.
It was 3 of them. And of course I picked the girl, and I picked Ash. Course. And then I did the tutorial, and I was like, okay, I don't think I understood anything. So I go into a bot game, and I'm like looking for Ash, because I was like, this is my character, right? There's no Ash. And I'm like, what? And I see another girl, and it's Annie, and I locked her in. I didn't know her name was Annie. I was like, she's another girl, okay. So I picked her, we go in, and I'm playing bot games with 4 strangers. And I go in, and I just run, and I just die. And I don't understand why I'm dying. Of course, I was dying to like the turrets and like the minions and stuff, and I had no idea. I didn't understand what was going on. Yeah. So I died like maybe 3 or 4 times. And I see in the chat, someone writes, "Yo, Annie, are you good?" And then someone else responded, "Annie, what are you doing?" And then someone else said, "Annie has to be a bot." And I didn't understand at the beginning. And I was like, "Who's Annie?" I like pressed tab, right? Yeah, and then I looked at it, I was like, Annie sounds kind of familiar. I'm like, wait, they're talking about me. And then I was like kind of upset, because I was like, bro, I don't know what I'm doing. I literally was like, yo, I don't want to play anymore. I was really young too, so I legit was like, no, I don't want to play anymore. I Alt F4'd and uninstalled the game. I didn't even finish the bot game. That was season 1. And then I just remember I had like what's the word? A reluctance. I just did not want to play League at all. And in between that time, I was playing Audition. If you know that, it's like a dancing keyboard dancing game, like DDR, but for like a PC.
My brother Skyanoid probably knows what it is, but not me familiar with it. But yeah.
Yeah. So I was playing that, and I met a bunch of like people on there, and all of a sudden, everybody was like, "League of Legends. We play League of Legends," and I was like, "Ew, I don't want to play that game."
Ew.
And of course, you know, after like 2 months, I end up on League of Legends.
Yeah.
And I'm with my friends, and we all play, and that started my League of Legends run. I started basically season 3.
Yeah.
In season 1, I uninstalled the game.
I think it was like season 3 or 4 when I properly played it. They just released some new characters, and it was like a giant ice queen or something was one of the things. I can't remember exactly what it was.
Lysandra.
I think so, yeah. So
Ice Queen is Lysandra.
I think that might be the one that just come out then. I couldn't even tell you now. It's been that long since I played it, but it was around then that like I started playing it, and yeah, that was a while ago. I'm telling you now, Kura, watching you compared to watching Frankie, night and day. You actually like make me have to read some things. Frankie literally reads it out at super speed, going, yeah, I absorbed all of that. Proceeds to screw up in every single possible way along the way. So
that's such a Frankie thing to do.
Yeah. We've got a collab coming up soon where I'm going to be cooking based on her instructions.
Oh, so, good luck with that.
So we'll be in my kitchen. We're going to pick some ingredients with chat. From those ingredients, we'll pick like a recipe of some description. And then she said she wants to translate it 10 times randomly and then give me the instructions on how to cook it. I was like, what? What do you mean you're going to translate it 10 times? What? I was like... Oh my god, I'm going to have to put like fireproofing everywhere. The girl who can only cook eggs and omelets is going to direct me on cooking things.
That's what she cooks?
Yeah, she can only cook omelets.
Oh my god, how does she survive? What is she eating?
She eats omelets and scrambled egg and also a boiled egg. She sometimes has fried eggs. I think she just about knows how to make a instant noodle pack.
That was me when I was like 16.
I think she probably survives on whatever her parents cook, to be fair.
She's a zoomer.
Yeah. What's for tea tonight?
So when I first played, or not even first, but when I played games in the past, Mama Kura was very wary of like the people that I'd be talking to, even though she never really like did anything about it. But she would be like, "You're not allowed to like meet them IRL," because she would think that I would get kidnapped.
Yeah.
And I actually did go out when I was 15. I was in driving school, and some of the friends from my guild in MapleStory, they lived in my state, and they drove over, and they were like, "Let's go out and like get dinner like at a sushi place," and I was like, "Cool." And at the time, Mama Kura was not in town. I was being taken care of by an auntie. Auntie Kura found out, and she gave me a good scolding.
A talking to.
Yeah, I got a scolding, and I was quite upset because I knew that the people that I had met were not kidnappers. I was smart enough to like know that, you know, because I'd known them for so long.
Obviously showing my boomer colours. I've been here since day one of the internet age, so you know it's fine, whatever. I've seen, you know, the naive kind of startings, and you're just like, I want to talk to everyone, and I'm going to do all this and whatever. Then I saw the great moderation purge. I don't know if you've ever heard of this. So there used to be messengers and stuff. You hear the old stories of like AOL Messenger or Yahoo Messenger.
Oh yeah. I had those.
So the main one was like MSN back in the day, right? MSN figured out what the hell was going on. It was like an unmoderated mess, like all the time. It was like a bad place to be. Like people would literally would log on, go into a random chat room. It'd literally be like like on the main MSN portal. Within the messenger, it was like a chat room thing. It's like a forum, and it was literally people just going, saying, "Oh, hello." So, do you know? Have you heard of ASL before? Like
American Sign Language.
This is how bad it was. Bearing in mind, I was like 11 or 12 at the time, and like probably 12 on my PC.
Hello, mate.
All right, Tracer, how you doing?
Cheers, love.
I obviously don't have like the stereotypical British accent, right? The stereotypical one in all the movies is either King's English or London Cockney, right? So when I went to America, I visited America. Like I did like a long trip all up the West Coast and all that sort of stuff. Once they've heard me talking, they were like, "Well, he's definitely not from here. I'm immediately going to talk to him," which, as a British person, I'm not used to. If you can try to talk to anybody here, you get stabbed. This random person comes up to me, I'm like, "Oh, hello," and they're like, "Oh, you're Australian?" No, I'm not Australian. I'm British. And they're like, "But you sound Australian." I'm like, just because I don't speak King's English or London Cockney doesn't mean I know Australians are basically British with extra steps. It keeps happening. I don't know why it keeps happening.
I struggle to tell the difference between the British accent.
Yeah, so there's a lot of accents in a very small space, really. So obviously, London Cockneys, you know, oh, we're going up the Apple and Pears, mate. Yeah, we go down London, you know. You know, or if you're from, you know, we used to have an engineer, and if Kabir's here, he'd probably remember it. He had this engineer, right, and he spoke like this, and he's from London South, right? And every time he was down in London South, oh, he hated leaving London South. And why you sent me here for? This ain't London South. I'm in bloody Brighton now, you know, like... You speak like that. So that's like South London accent. Like even in London, there's like 4 or 5 different accents as well. But I'm from an area called the Black Country, which is in the West Midlands. So we speak completely different to a lot of the other parts of the country. So yeah, somebody from Chicago going into the deep South trying to understand people there probably won't understand anything, right?
I had a vocal coach who he was from Philadelphia or Pennsylvania or something, and they called downtown Dutton. I was like, what? I would not be able to understand it either.
I mean, we cut words here as well. Let's play the guessing game. So if I was to say "obist," what do you think that means?
A what?
Obist. This is English, I promise. So this is the dialect.
Our best.
It's a good guess. So obist is short form of how beest, which is how are you? But obviously it's Old English.
Oh my.
Yeah. We're often referred to as yam-yams here as well, because a lot of our words end with like, yo am I, and stuff like that, which means you are, aren't you? Yeah, I'm confused, yo am I, yeah. So one of my favourite ones.
So cool.
One of my favourite ones is yam yo am I, yeah.
Yam yeah. Sounds almost Chinese.
Yeah, actually, yeah, kind of does a little bit. Now that I break it down, I'm like, oh, it does actually.
Okay, I know. If I say I don't want to eat, it's 我不要吃饭.
What?
If my mother.
Say that again. 不要吃饭.
我不要吃饭.
不要做饭.
Yeah.
吃饭. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself, Kura.
Yeah, I did. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on, Kura. Much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.